Let's have fun. Have fun.
Okay, welcome back to Treadly,
Treadly.
Globesville's weekly news and entertainment show.
Oh, Kelly, it's so wonderful. We're your wonderful hosts, Kelly and Andrew.
As you can see, we are bringing spring into the studio. You know, all
Florals.
these florals.
Look at it.
Yes.
Didn't plan it. All right, wait, so let's get into this week's news, Kelly. Come on, tell us.
Shall we?
From the top.
Now, so last week, Beyonce slayed the stage
Slayed.
at Coachella. She emerged on stage as Queen Nefertiti, reincarnated in a black and gold balmain dress.
Ooh.
She was surrounded by an orchestra of 100 matching people, including
Crazy.
her favorite French dancers, Les Twins.
Les Twins.
Her set lasted 2 hours.
That would be like doing this for 2 hours. Guest performers J Balvin, husband Jay-Z, sister Solange, and even the reunion of Destiny's Child, Kelly, all joined Beyonce on stage. She performed hit song after hit song, and she even announced her and her husband's upcoming tour, On the Run 2. Can we talk about it? Did you get tickets?
No, I did not get
Me
the
neither,
tickets because
but-
they're crazy expensive.
$800 later, people.
But her Coachella performance, like, I'm not really a Beyonce fan like that, but
But an
seeing-
amazing performer.
It was
like
she was
the
amazing.
dancing and the
But the best part for me was, of course, Destiny's Child. Of course. Come on.
nostalgia.
Yeah, you grew up listening to these women, and now seeing them on stage again.
I'm
I
a
was in heaven.
believer.
I was fangirling at home. It was amazing.
Amazing.
Yes. So on a sad note, America lost a beloved former First Lady, Barbara Bush, on April 17th due to an illness. She was 92.
Wow.
92. And she passed at home with family.
Well, that's good. At least she had them. She became first lady in 1989. Did you know that?
Long time
and
ago.
first mother
Yeah.
in 2001 for George W.
Second
Bush. She even made the Barbara Bush Literary Foundation, which now conducts 160 programs in 12 states across the nation. I mean, to increase children's education. I mean, that's wonderful, really.
That's
I mean,
amazing. And we didn't know she did all of that.
Yeah.
you know.
I'm not a fan of the Bushes, but all condolences to them. She
Yeah.
lived a great life.
Very much so. So last Tuesday, a flight from New York to Dallas had a dreadful experience while landing. Few minutes before being on ground, the plane's left engine exploded when a fan blade broke off. As the plane was going down, 144 passengers and 5 crew members,
144?
144, hoped and prayed for survival, sending their families and loved ones their last.
That's so scary. I mean, even one window blew out, and Jennifer Reardon was nearby. She was nearly ejected, but then she was brought back in by 2 nearby guys who helped her, and they like pulled her back in. But sadly, she died later on in the hospital after the flight safely landed, thank God. But I mean, could you imagine that happening to you?
It would have been like the scariest experience, you know, just looking and being
Like,
in
there's
the
nothing
whole,
you can do. You're in the air falling to your death. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're trying not to like freak out. It's scary.
I don't think that would work out. But
I don't. I would have lost it.
Anyway, on a lighter note, we're gonna do a challenge.
Challenge time. So I'm positive that you guys are familiar with the game Heads Up. You know.
Ellen's show. Pick a category. Kelly and I, we're gonna guess to that category.
It's an app, by the way.
Yeah, for only 99 cents. Shout out to Ellen. So let's get started. I'm gonna do superstars because I feel like that'll be okay.
Okay.
You know, okay.
Let's see.
Let's see. Let's go. Did it start? No.
Okay. She's always doing interviews on ABC, especially with influence.
Barbara Walters.
Yes.
Hey.
Thor.
What?
Thor. He played Thor.
Hemsworth. Chris.
No.
Liam.
Yes.
Okay. Really? I thought it was.
Oh
Liam.
no, his brother. Sorry.
Whatever.
Baseball show. His first name is a country.
Who? Baseball?
Yes. Yeah, he was in. Time to Come Home.
Don't know.
Okay. Left One Direction, Still Have Anxiety.
Zayn.
Yes.
Hey. See, this one I'm good at.
Bad Company. He now has a smartwatch.
Facebook.
No.
I mean, Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Who was it?
Hips Don't Lie. No.
Starting to feel it. Shakira.
Yes. He sings writing solo. Was with Jordan Sparks. Broke up. Terrible
No
person.
idea. No idea.
She was in High School Musical. Oh, damn.
Hey, while we continue, did I do good? Did I win? We're going to go to What's Good, our next segment, and we're going to see what we have to say about The Crown. What's good, right? The Crown?
Yeah, that's good.
The Crown. Hey.
Hey everyone, welcome to our very first episode of What's Good.
We're so excited to be here. We'll be kicking off the series with a look into one of our favorite shows, The Crown.
The Crown is a Netflix original series that follows the political rivalries and romance of Queen Elizabeth II's reign and the events that shaped the second half of the 20th century.
I will not kneel before my wife.
Your wife is not asking you to.
But my queen commands me.
Yes.
I beg you make an exception for me.
No.
This clip opens up in a great spot where Queen Elizabeth is having a fight with her husband, and you kind of see this throughout the series, her like butting heads with men in her life.
And it's so crazy because it's happening during a time in which women in history are small and oppressed, but the Queen was definitely not that. The show gives light to a very empowering female role model, which I think is one of the things that makes the show so good.
The audience to invest in the relationships you have and the story, and I think the only way of doing that is just being truthful.
I live for the scenes where her eyes make me feel so much emotion without having her say anything.
I always connect with the awkwardness of a moment or the complexity of her emotion while I watch her play the Queen in the show. The combination of the casting director and the producer worked really well in the casting process. They're all beautifully talented and truly captured the essence of the real people they're playing.
We realised we were not going to do a look-alike show. What we've tried to do is give you an essence of those characters that you know.
You know what's my favorite scene? When the Queen Mother is telling Elizabeth that she just can't be Elizabeth anymore. She's the crown and has a duty to put the crown before herself.
The fact is, the crown must win. Must always win.
The transitions between her writing the letter and Elizabeth reading it before she's seen in public for the first time as Queen was so smooth. There were about 20 takes in 15 seconds, and it's subconsciously sending a message that is so important and can easily be overlooked.
Showing this juxtaposition between a woman who's been through it and knows the deal, and this young woman being stripped from her youth and innocence to take on the crown.
To jump on a production that's going to tell the story of the royal family, because that implies wealth, and that's the expectation of the audience. They're going to see a ton of wealth and beautiful things. So it was 1947, the country was on its knees, there was no money. Sort of place these impossibly wealthy people in an unwealthy context, and so I just thought how great it would be to put these palaces in a grey and brown, ashen kind of world.
And costumes are another effective way to communicate emotions.
So the plotting of scenes and the plotting of costumes in scenes, I think, is often the most creative part, almost, because you're trying to suggest something that isn't said, and it can just sort of sway people's understanding of a character.
Do you think the show will be remembered in years down the line?
Absolutely. Not only is this like a history lesson, but all the things we talked about would make the show unforgettable. The Queen's power, the relationship with the men in her life, the beautiful editing, the costumes, and most importantly, the accuracy.
Yeah, I agree. Unlike several shows today, which seem like they're just for the moment, The Crown has so much to bring to the table, and I think people will definitely be watching years from now. So what do you think The Crown's impact is on culture?
What makes the show great is we all know this Queen as like this symbol of Britain, but what we really see in the show is who she truly is and how she's just like us in a lot of aspects, and I think that's super empowering to us women.
Yeah, the show has brought back the monarchy for the younger generation in the US. We also get to see a bit more of the British history.
Well, this is it for our show. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, this was What's Good.
Winston Churchill and all that, but remember who you are. You're the Queen of England.
Crown, Kelly.
Wow, that was such a great segment.
I love The Crown.
I love it.
Amazing.
That's one of my shows.
Must watch, everyone. Must watch.
It's a must watch. Let's move on to our next segment. This is my story with my home skillet, Isabella.
Isabella, we're gonna be.
Hi, my name is Isabella Mujica, and this is my story. So I always knew I wanted to leave the island for college. Like, I didn't know if I was gonna get the opportunity or not, but I applied to colleges and I got in, and I got the opportunity to like actually leave the island and like experience college somewhere else. So I'm really close to my family. Like, they're a big part of my life right now. So telling them that I was going to college was like mixed emotions, because they were like so proud of me, and like they were so excited for me, and they were like, oh, you're gonna do so well out there. But I also like didn't want to leave them, so I was like torn. And then I'm really close to my dad, and he's like my best friend. And like actually like leaving my house and like knowing I'm not gonna see my dad every day was like a big thing. Everyone, like, the first thing I was told when I told everyone I was moving to New York was, but why are you moving to New York? There's so much crime, there's like so many terrorist attacks, like that's a hot spot. And I was like, at the end of the day, I knew I wanted to study in New York. Like, I came here once before I actually moved here, and I fell in love with the city, and I knew that I had to end up here. And yeah, there's like all these like dangers, and there's like a lot of things that come with living in New York, but I faced them head on. Like, I wasn't gonna let that stop me. So making friends in the city was actually kind of easy but hard at the same time. Coming from a Latin background, we're like very loud, very outgoing. So having people like get used to me being loud and like very outgoing and in your face took some time, but thankfully I made some friends that like understand this about me and like were with me every step of the process and like didn't like judge me for it.
With someone you are with someone you are
hopefully I will build a life in New York. Like, I've already started building one. Like, I've made friends here. I have like some family. So hopefully like my social circle will like expand. I'll get like a job in the city or something like that. And then hopefully in 10 years I'll be doing what I love and be like working for a PR firm or something like that. Okay, my advice would be that don't be afraid of change. Like, it's a normal thing. It's a normal thing to be afraid of change. But change is something that's always going to be present in your life. So it's something you necessarily don't need to fear, because we are human beings and we will adapt to our surroundings.
That was such an awesome segment. I love Isabella, you know.
She's the best.
Being
From Puerto
an
Rico.
Yeah,
hey.
being an island girl myself, you know, I understand, girl.
Jamaica.
I understand.
I'm an island, Long Island. Island boy.
I can't.
Everyone, stay tuned for Wild Culture. You might see
someone familiar.
I
wonder who.
Maybe the plant. I don't know. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is World Culture. My name is Bright and I come from China. In recent days, I have done something that I would never do in my country. I got drunk on class day. me. Actually, it's okay for me because I have no class that day, but my American friends still have classes. For Chinese students, if we don't have classes, the only thing for us is study. Endless study. You want to watch movie, go shopping, get a drink with friends? No way! The second thing I know is American students' breakfast. They usually have a coffee and fruit, like an apple, a banana, maybe a sandwich is enough for their breakfast. But for Chinese students, we have a really substantial breakfast. We have shrimp, dumplings, rice, or Chinese hamburger. Basically, we have 3 dinners for one day. And I really admire American students' school bag. They are really light, and maybe just 1 or 2 books and 1 notebook and a computer. But for Chinese students, we really have a huge bag, and there are more than 20 books in it. It's like carrying a book to school every day. So, what are the daily life of Chinese students and American students? Take a look.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere.
Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere.
A singer in a smoky room.
A smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlight people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlight people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Streetlight people. Don't stop.
Who was that, Kelly?
I wondered, did you have fun filming that? Because that was great.
A lot of fun. Wonderful director, bright.
Great, great. Now,
Now-
it's my turn.
Heads up, part 2.
Yes, I'm gonna do Superstars too because the others seem hard.
Okay.
Oh,
Hopefully I'm okay.
let's do this.
1. I have
Wow.
no idea. Go. I have no idea who that is. No, we can do it again. Do it again. Oh, you were talking about her before. She has a gorgeous glow. She's beautiful. She's in Pretty Little Liars.
Shay Mitchell.
Yes. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I swear. He's in that movie Baby Driver. He's young, like my.
Ansel Elgort.
Yeah. Go. Yeah, you're good. He was married to a Real Housewife, but then they got divorced.
David Foster.
No. Whatever. His last name is a subject in school. I don't know who this is either.
Yo, you're terrible.
Oh, she's in Modern Family. Glasses. She got a boob reduction.
Ariel something.
Not spring, but before
Fall?
that. Before that.
Summer?
Before spring, you idiot.
Oh my gosh. Ariel something.
Winter, obviously.
Yo,
Time's up.
this is no. Oh my gosh.
The last one was Brody.
I legitimately got Twilight.
She's not from Twilight.
She was in Twilight.
No, that's Dakota Fanning.
What?
Elle Fanning is, I don't know who that is. Whatever. Anyway, we're gonna go.
Cinderella.
What?
Cinderella.
I don't know. Breaking stereotypes, people. Breaking stereotypes. We're gonna break them.
Watch the next segment, guys.
Sorry. Zero boyfriends.
Only when?
I've dated, but not in a serious relationship. No.
2.
3?
More than 5.
I have never used dating apps before. No, I didn't see a purpose of it. I've been playing golf before, so that's where I found American boyfriend.
No, I don't do that. I personally don't do that.
I have met people online. It's not successful, but I have met people online.
Initially exclusive. Later on, you're fine if you go with like double dates or with people. That's healthy, I guess, but not initially.
That's totally not acceptable.
Yeah, okay, going with the other.
When was the last time you had sex?
February, I think. I don't know, I went out for like some big party before spring vacation.
Have you ever had a one-night stand?
Yes. No.
Give you some detail.
I can't give you details, but I'm a no.
It happens on occasion, I guess. It's not something I enjoy doing, but I guess it happens.
I guess I'm a hopeless romantic. So like, I'm not that type of person. I'm just very private and like reserved with that stuff.
I guess personally, I like that. I want to date someone so I can be with them for a long time. I don't just want to hook up with someone just for that one day, for that one night.
Have you ever had hook up with anyone? I mean, yeah.
What's your definition for hookup?
I mean, it could either be. Yes. There's a sexual and non-sexual definition. If it's a non-sexual definition, I guess we could all say yes. Like we met up with a girl, up with her, talking this and out. But sexual-wise, I can say no.
More like you find somebody on social media and you guys want to hook up, so you guys drink first, and then something happens.
I don't know, it's interesting. Nowadays, I feel more people are doing like the online dating scene, like, using Tinder, using stuff like that.
I feel even though the online dating apps and websites are good, but it kind of takes you away from the real world, which is not that well according to me. I just feel that you should keep it real, meet face to face rather than just going left swipe and right swipe and there's no direction with the swipes.
In the sense, like, you meet someone in person, you like them, you go on a date with them, and then you eventually like make it official. Like, that's what I like mostly.
I think there is some problem, but it is good for the same time and get easy to meet as many people. So
why you guys just hang out and dating with people for a long time but never talk about the relationship?
They just want to date. They don't want to keep a relationship. When you're trying to explain your emotion and they feel like you're going too fast and they push you away and just want to stay like a dating relationship.
I mean, if I wanted to be in a relationship with someone, I would. I won't be like, hey, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend now. But we would go on dates and talk, and if it leads up, then you could successfully say, hey, we are in a relationship.
Go on a date.
Like, you want to
like, let's go out to dinner. That's a date. You're not dating because you don't know each other. See how it goes, and if you like each other, then it progresses. If you don't, then it's over. That's just dating.
That's dating. But if you're going on a date while you're dating someone else, then there's a problem. That's cheap.
Do you think sleeping with a virgin is a burden?
I don't prefer to sit with a virgin because I have to be the teacher. So no.
You should be a teacher.
Yes.
You're lazy.
No, I see what he meant.
Let's say don't be someone's first sexual experience and don't be their last.
Like, if for instance, we were virgins, if we dated a girl and our first time was with someone that knew what they were doing, for them, it doesn't feel great. For us, it felt great because it's our first time. We don't know what to do. But then we realize if you do it more often, you're gonna realize, wow, I was terrible in the beginning, and now I see why people say going out and having sex with a virgin isn't the greatest thing. If I was dating a girl and she was a virgin and she
For a girl, it's completely different.
Yeah, but if I was to have a girlfriend who was a virgin and she was to then say, hey, I want to do this, I wouldn't do it because I would want them to know that what they're doing is very big. I think losing your virginity is a big thing. To some girls, it's a special moment, and if you just do it and then the guy just ditches you, you're gonna feel heartbroken.
Or the most important part of your dating?
It should be fun. It shouldn't be a burden. It should be like friends first, and then it grows into something more.
Personality is also important. If you're with your partner, your guy's personality is not very fit. No.
Oh, it's pretty fast a bit, pretty open.
There's a more open-minded than over my country.
Yeah, I believe nowadays generation is kind of all over the place, and their brain all over the place, and they're all over different people.
Expectations for love.
What do you mean?
Chris Evans.
For that, I'm asking for a nice human being, good personality. No matter if they are thin, big, have breasts, a butt, mostly I want is a brain.
I don't want to be in a relationship anytime soon, so it's like, if it's right, it's right. I don't know.
It just happened.
Yes.
You know, because if you try, you actually fail.
Like, I'm not planning, I don't care.
I think everybody got an imagination about your relationship. So, but reality is different. So sometimes you view your imagination, it's like a daydream.
I believe a man should be a gentleman. Again, it's personally to me, but don't forget that I'm there too, and I'm gonna be really tough on that person as well.
I do believe I will find my true love in the future. I will find someone who really loves me and accompany with me for my whole life.
I would want someone to be, one, respectful. That's one thing. If you have respect towards me, and then later on you have respect for my family and friends, that's great. I want you to be honest with me at all times. Even if it hurts, say the truth. Pretty much, it's not asking for a lot, just pretty much asking for the basic things that you would want me to give you. I just want you to return it back.
I believe you should remember who were our parents and our ancestors, and kind of dedicate your person to just being in love with one person, and dedicate your body and brain to that person.
Oh, that's so cute. Guys talking about love. Love that. It's
Well,
great.
everyone.
At least love is not dead, hopefully, in this generation.
Was it really?
It was so cute.
No, it wasn't. It's okay. Everyone, we're gonna go to our next segment. Do you really know?
Do you know? Because you kind of sound a little bitter.
Bitter. It was like an interview, like, are you in love? I'm like, get your job, your career, then find love. You know?
Do you know, guys, on the Me Too movement?
I was working with the school district.
The flirting would get more and more sort of explicit.
You know, it was just terrified, didn't know what to do.
That it's not just Hollywood, that it's not just actresses.
Even now, I kind of just like blame myself. I'm like,
I was not ready to be intimate.
you've paid any attention to the news in recent months, odds are you've probably heard about the Me Too movement that took Hollywood by storm.
My name is Tarana Burke, and I'm the founder of the Me Too movement.
In October 2017, allegations against American film producer Harvey Weinstein surfaced and shed light on the unspoken crime of sexual harassment in the workplace.
Harvey Weinstein craziness has really taken over.
I remember the lurch when I went to the desk and I said, Mr. Weinstein, is he on the patio? And they said, he's in his room. And I was like...
Dozens of women in Hollywood have come forward with claims of alleged sexual harassment, assault, and even rape.
This is an international rapist, okay? This is the truth of what it is. This is an international rape factory. Every single place he ever stayed, there were people there set up to help him rape. This is how it went. This is what it was. People, women, girls would be said, oh, you have a meeting or come to a party. They'd show up and that party is just him. Who got them there? Who are the assistants?
The Me Too social media movement went viral after actress Alyssa Milano shared it on Twitter.
Right. What the Me Too campaign really does and what Tarana Burke has really enabled us all to do is put the focus back on the victims.
Over 1.7 million tweets have been posted using the hashtag #MeToo. This movement has encouraged thousands of women to speak out and share their stories. Statistics revealed 1 in 3 women have been sexually harassed at work.
It was my first job right out of school. I was working at a theater just outside of New York, and there was an older guy in the cast.
This is happening everywhere. Sexual harassment has been reported in the military, medicine, sports, finance fields, and even the church.
We're praying or whatever, and he puts his hand on my back, which was like a normal thing at the church, so I didn't really say anything. But then his hands kind of started moving, and like I said, it was in the summertime, so it was hot. I was wearing a dress, and I was so scared that I didn't say anything at the time.
It's a global social issue that has remained untalked about for far too long, but has finally garnered a lot of attention. So what exactly is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment is the use of inappropriate comments and/or unwanted touching, or anything that makes the victim feel uncomfortable or guilty.
Even now, I kind of just like blame myself. I'm like, if I would have known, if I would have just said no, if so many ifs.
Most people have been victims of sexual harassment and don't even know it.
How many of you have been referred to, show of hands, as a girl, a doll, a babe, or honey at work?
Sweetheart belongs on that list as well.
How many of you have heard you're too emotional?
You're being too emotional. Now don't get so emotional. That's the new word for sexism, and they put you down. But if you say anything, you're emotional because you're a woman.
According to Pew Research Center, since increased focus on the topic of sexual harassment, 55% of men say it has made it harder for them to know how to interact with women at work.
Particularly feminists who've been writing about this have been saying that, look, the people who rape are not just bad guys hiding in the bushes. They're the people you know, they're the people that you love, and consent is not this kind of fluid thing. It happens in a situation where a woman goes, you know what, I'm gonna say no in this situation, and then a man feels like they have to convince the woman.
If you have to think twice about what you're about to do, don't do it.
It was just the two of us, and he grabbed my arm and he pulled me into him and tried to kiss me, and I said I didn't want to. I pushed him away. I was 13 at the time, and I found out after that that he was 19, and that was the first time that I ever really felt that somebody else felt entitled to my body.
If you have to think twice about what you're about to say, don't say it.
Last year I was on the metro and I was wearing a legalized gay t-shirt, and when I got off of the metro, a man came up to me and looked me in the eyes and said, I'd still eat it. And just his look and how he said it was literally enough to break me down.
That really goes with everything. Don't do to others what you wouldn't want to be done to you. While 29% of women did formally report incidents of sexual harassment, an outstanding 71% did not.
How many of you filed an HR request against your harasser?
But isn't HR supposed to be the safe place to report harassment?
Maybe it's because of the dynamic between the power versus the powerless. Allegations against a person of authority are almost always avoided or ignored due to the potential of consequences. Women are afraid of being fired and not being to advance in their fields.
I sort of silenced myself. I felt, in that moment, I feel like there's an erasure of yourself.
I have to really think about my values and what's important to me and weigh them against my career.
But we shouldn't let the Me Too movement only be a trend. We should continue the conversation so future generations don't have to deal with this. The seriousness of this issue is almost always downplayed because majority of the victims are women.
It's like a magnet. You just I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy.
Unfortunately, it has become somewhat of a norm to encounter sexual harassment, not just in the workplace, but in daily life.
I went to a high school that was up a hill. By the time I got all the way up, I'd be really tired and exhausted. I'd have books on me, and there was a man that was walking down, and he walks right by me. He turns around, grabs my butt really hard, lets go, walks away, and I'm just there stuck, feeling powerless, disgusted, and just ruined.
We shouldn't let this go on any longer. Protocol needs to be put in place. Schools need to educate generations to come about the topic of respect and harassment.
My kid in school learns that if his clothes catch on fire, that he should stop, drop, and roll. But there's nothing teaching our kids in school the protocol of gender equality and what that means, and decency and respect towards the opposite gender.
Now is your turn to take action. Spread the MeToo hashtag and join the movement. Encourage your friends and family members who have been victims of sexual harassment to speak out and share their own stories.
Just take a little look.
Bob.
Seriously, I just want to know if you think he's attractive or not. Just have a little look.
What are you doing?
Don't you realize that I'm attracted to you?
Okay.
Look, I know you don't think a lot of yourself, but I think you are an incredibly sexy woman. You totally turn me on. So just have a look and tell me if you think you guys might want to be friends.
You should put your pants on.
All right, if you're not into it, you're not into it. So I'm going to put him away now. You okay with that? Because, you know, once I put him away, he doesn't come back out. I don't want to drive him crazy, in, out, in, out. It's tiring. I don't want to tire the little guy out. Okay, that's that. Okay, give me your phone.
What?
Your phone, don't you want me to make a birthday video for your niece? What's her name?
Naomi.
Naomi.
Yeah, she just turned 7.
7. Oh. Hey, Naomi, happy birthday. 7 years old, my gosh, what a big girl you are. Hope you have a fantastic year full of wonder and mystery and adventure and joy. I'm here with your aunt. She's the best in the world. Thanks for watching our show. Have a great year. Mwah. There you go.
Bad, because can't fake it.
Wow, that was such a great segment.
Very important.
Very, very important, especially in these days. So, what's wrong? What needs to be changed on our campus from a student viewpoint? It is very difficult to get in and out of the 26 West. We can only take the elevators, and now with constructions, it's even worse.
It's so hard. Oh, if you're late for class, you're going to be
Forget it.
20 minutes later.
It's like every week, it's either one on the left or the one on the right goes out of service.
And it's like, it's not a big building. Like, this building is 10 floors, and people will walk up and down. It's not hard to walk downstairs. That's only like 4 or 5 floors, and you can't take the stairs. It's so irritating. They should make like that available to you. Don't have the fire alarm go off or something.
And then it's all the orange and the wood.
I mean, that you can't control, like the construction.
I know, but it's scary.
Open the stairs, people.
What if it breaks and you fall in?
What?
The wooden staircase thingy, the ramp.
It's not a wooden staircase.
It's wood. It's made out of wood.
It's wooden.
Are you mocking me? You know what? And
Oh, I hit my mic.
So guys, thank you all for watching.
That's my line.
It's a pleasure as
A pleasure.
usual.
Kelly and Andrew, out.
Out. See you next week. Bye guys.
Hey, we're gonna.